What if the fate of your village rested on the shoulders of one young healer? Step into a world where magic whispers through the air and ancient secrets wait just beneath enchanted veils. Meet Amara, a talented herbalist whose tranquil life is shattered by dark forces threatening her home. With the weight of her community on her heart, she must navigate treacherous woods and forge alliances to confront her fears. Will she uncover the truth in time to protect everything she loves, or will darkness consume them all? This is Chapter 1 of The Enchanted Veil. Let the journey begin.
Chapter 1: The Healer's Journey. Amara stood at the threshold of her workshop, the morning light filtering through the small windows, illuminating the jars of herbs meticulously arranged on her shelves. A delicate aroma of lavender and chamomile filled the air. As she prepared for the day ahead, she hummed softly, moving with practiced ease, her hands deftly sorting through the ingredients she would need. A gentle breeze drifted through the doorway, rustling the leaves of the nearby trees, and for a moment she closed her eyes to savor the tranquility that enveloped her space. Glancing at a small, framed picture of her grandmother resting on the counter, she felt a swell of pride in carrying on the family legacy of healing. With each action, Amara felt connected to what she knew best, relishing the certainty of her skills, even as the sounds of the village grew louder beyond her walls. As Amara worked, a soft knock interrupted her concentration. She turned to see a worried mother standing at the door, cradling a child in her arms. The child had a scraped knee, tears glistening in his eyes. "Please, can you help?" the mother pleaded, her voice tinged with desperation. Amara's heart swelled with compassion, and without hesitation, she replied, "Of course, come in." She quickly gathered her supplies, a soothing salve and fresh bandages, her fingers moving with practiced speed. As she prepared to tend to the child's wound, Amara felt a familiar excitement mingle with the responsibility, a reminder of why she loved being a healer. Amara crouched beside the child, gently cleaning the scraped knee with warm water. "Just a little sting," she reassured, watching the boy wince but remain still, his focus entirely on her. As she applied the soothing salve, she engaged him in light conversation, asking about his favorite games and what he enjoyed doing with his friends. The child's eyes brightened, and he began to chatter excitedly about his adventures in the village, his pain momentarily forgotten. The mother relaxed, visibly relieved to see her son distracted and cared for by someone renowned for their skill. Finishing the bandaging, Amara caught sight of the familiar, grateful smiles exchanged between the mother and child, and she felt warmth spread through her heart, reinforcing her passion for healing. After tending to the child, Amara stepped outside into the bustling village. The warm sun enveloped her, and the vibrant decorations for the upcoming festival danced in the breeze, filling the air with a festive energy. Laughter echoed around her as children chased one another, and the smell of fresh bread wafted from a nearby stall, teasing her senses. As she walked through the square, Amara exchanged friendly greetings with the villagers, feeling their warmth uplift her spirit. Yet amid the joyful atmosphere, she couldn't shake a sense of longing, a desire for adventure beyond the familiar comforts of her days. Gazing at her friends playing in the distance, she felt an internal tug, the thrill of the unknown beckoning her to reclaim a sense of purpose outside her workshop. As Amara participated in the festival preparations, she spotted Rowan approaching with a basket of ripe fruits in hand. His warm smile brightened her spirits, and their playful banter filled the air as he teased her about always being confined to her workshop. "Shouldn't a renowned healer be enjoying the festival instead of playing nurse?" he joked, placing a piece of fruit in her hand. Amara laughed, but the teasing carried a truth that lingered in her mind. Was she truly missing out on life? "I can't help it. I have a responsibility to the village," she replied, a hint of defensiveness creeping into her tone. Rowan's expression softened. "You do, but it's okay to join us for a little while. Let's make some memories, too." His words tugged at her heart, forcing her to confront the longing within, to explore beyond her usual boundaries. Amara hesitated, glancing back at her workshop, filled with herbs and memories of her grandmother's teachings. "But I've got so much to do," she finally said, the familiar comfort of responsibilities trying to anchor her in place. Rowan's smile widened, and he gently nudged her shoulder. "The work will always be there, but opportunities like this are fleeting." He gestured toward the laughter and joy echoing through the village. "This is your chance to step outside and experience new things. You never know what you might find." With a deep breath, Amara felt the pull of adventure mingling with the warmth of camaraderie, stirring something inside her. "I suppose just a little while wouldn't hurt," she conceded, her heart racing with both excitement and apprehension. As she stepped away from the familiar doorway, she felt a sense of freedom wash over her. Today, she would embrace the unknown. Chapter 2: Gathering Allies. As Amara stepped into the heart of the festival, vibrant colors and joyous laughter enveloped her like a warm embrace. Children danced around a maypole, their giggles mixing with the sweet melodies from a nearby musician strumming a lively tune. She took a moment to absorb the sights, the stalls brimming with handcrafted goods, the tantalizing aromas of baked treats wafting through the air, and villagers sharing stories animatedly. With each step deeper into the festivities, her earlier apprehensions began to melt away, replaced by a sense of belonging and excitement. Amara's heart swelled. She had often been the healer on the sidelines, but now she felt the exhilarating pull of being part of the community. With a smile on her face, she resolved to soak in every moment, embracing the spontaneity of the day as she let herself be fully present. Amara meandered through the festival, her senses alive with the vibrant energy surrounding her. She spotted a booth adorned with colorful fabrics and intricate silver jewelry, the glimmering pieces catching her eye. Feeling the tug of curiosity, she approached the vendor, who welcomed her with a warm smile. "Looking for something special?" the vendor asked, gesturing to a beautiful silver bracelet that sparkled in the sunlight. Amara admired its craftsmanship. Feeling a sense of connection to the artistry. "It's stunning. How did you learn to make such beautiful things?" she inquired, eager to engage. The vendor shared stories of her grandmother's teachings, and Amara's heart warmed at the echoes of tradition and creativity, igniting her desire to explore new skills of her own. As Amara engaged with the vendor, a group of children dashed past, playing a spirited game of tag, laughter ringing through the air. The joyful noise momentarily distracted her, pulling her attention to the unburdened spirit of childhood. In that moment, she felt a yearning within her, a desire to embrace the freedom and joy that came with living in the present. Suddenly, a familiar voice interrupted her thoughts. Rowan appeared at her side, a teasing grin on his face. "You found a new treasure trove, haven't you?" Amara laughed, the connection between them bolstering her spirit. "Just a conversation about creativity and tradition," she replied, gesturing toward the vendor with the bracelet. Rowan raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "Maybe you could craft something like that. You have the skill. All you need is the practice." His encouragement sent a thrill through her, igniting a spark of ambition. Amara knew she could take inspiration from the festival to explore new avenues of creating beauty in her own life. Amara looked at Rowan, feeling a mix of excitement and uncertainty at the prospect of exploring new skills. "Do you really think I could?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper, reviewing her hidden doubts. Rowan nodded earnestly. "You're already a healer. Crafting is just another form of creation. You put love and care into your remedies. That same spirit can go into anything you make." His supportive words resonated within her, reinforcing the bond they had built and warming her heart with encouragement. Amara watched the vendor demonstrate how to braid herbs into simple charms, each piece a testament to tradition and creativity intertwined with the past. I don't know where to start," Amara confessed, taking a step closer, drawn in by the possibility of learning. "Start with what you know," Rowan urged, his confidence in her unwavering. "Use the herbs you're already familiar with. You'll find your way." With renewed determination, Amara turned her gaze back to the vendor, ready to embrace the challenge of creation. Feeling invigorated by Rowan's encouragement, Amara turned to the vendor with newfound confidence. "Could I learn to make something like this?" she asked, gesturing towards the braided charm hanging from the vendor's stall. The vendor's eyes sparkled with warmth, and she replied, "Of course, it simply takes patience and practice. I can show you how to start." Amara felt a thrill of excitement rush through her as the vendor began to gather materials, showing her various herbs and threads to weave into the charm. As they worked together, Amara found herself absorbed in the rhythmic motion of braiding, each twist and turn reflecting her careful attention as she applied her healer's knowledge to the creation. The vendor guided her gently, offering tips and tricks with each step, while Rowan observed nearby, smiling as he recognized Amara's growing enthusiasm. This moment became a pivotal point for Amara. She felt her heart soar, realizing the joy of creating something meaningful with her hands, blending her healing abilities with artistry. As Amara completed the first charm, pride washed over her, the handmade piece glowing with the essence of her creativity and effort. She held it up to the light, marveling at how the herbs intertwined, symbolizing not only protection, but the connection to her village. "Here," the vendor said, smiling, "each charm holds its own memory, its own purpose. You imbued it with your spirit." Amara's heart swelled at the compliment, feeling a deep sense of accomplishment. "I think I'd like to make more," she replied earnestly, an ambition igniting within her. Rowan stepped closer, admiring her handiwork. "You've got a natural talent. We should definitely make these for the next festival." Feeling encouraged, Amara nodded, contemplating how these crafts could unite the village, merging healing with creativity. As her gaze swept over the festival still in full swing, Amara realized this was only the beginning of her journey, one where she could merge her passions and serve her community in new ways. Chapter 3: Facing the Shadows. The lively festival began to wind down as the sun dipped low on the horizon, casting golden rays across the village square. Amara stood in front of her newly crafted charms, feeling a mixture of satisfaction and a yearning for something more as she watched villagers enjoying their celebratory feasts. The sounds of laughter and music filled the air, but underneath it all, a thread of unease tugged at her heart, while others reveled. She sensed a shift in the energy around her, a slight tension that lingered just beneath the surface of their joy. Amara recalled the conversations she had overheard about disturbances in the forest, the whispers of unease among the villagers echoing in her mind. Spurred by the thought, she stepped away from her stall, determined to gather information, to uncover what shadows loomed at the edges of their happiness. Amara made her way through the dispersing crowd, her heart pounding as she sought out familiar faces in search of answers. She approached a group of villagers who stood off to the side, their hushed voices revealing an air of concern that contrasted sharply with the festive atmosphere. "Have any of you heard about the shadows in the forest?" she asked, her voice steady, despite the flutter of anxiety in her chest. One elder, leaning heavily on a wooden staff, looked up, his expression grave. "There have been sightings, strange creatures moving closer to the village at night." Another villager chimed in. "My livestock went missing after the last full moon. It's been unsettling for all of us." Amara listened intently, feeling the weight of their words settle in her mind. "Do you think it's—" she hesitated. "Dangerous?" The group exchanged nervous glances, and the elder nodded. "We must be cautious. We've lived in peace for too long." The gravity of their situation hung heavily between them, prompting Amara to explore deeper connections between the festival's joy and the shadows emerging at the edges of their lives. As the villagers continued sharing their fears, Amara felt a flicker of determination ignite within her. "We can't let fear dictate our days," she said, her voice ringing with conviction, cutting through the murmur of anxiety. The elder looked at her, eyebrows raised. "What do you propose? Facing the unknown could bring greater danger to our village." Amara stood tall, emboldened by the gravity of the situation. "I think we need to investigate these disturbances ourselves. We can't rely solely on speculation." One of the younger villagers voiced a concern. "What if we get lost or run into something dangerous? It's safer here." Amara turned to them, her heart racing. "We owe it to ourselves to uncover the truth. We may find answers that can help protect our village." The group began to consider her words, weighing the risks against the possibility of knowledge, allowing a flicker of hope to break through their fear. Amara felt the weight of their uncertainty pressing down on her, but remained resolute in her conviction. "Let's not let fear control us. I'll lead us into the forest. We can gather information and return before dark," she proposed, her voice steady. The villagers exchanged glances, the doubt lingering, but her passionate determination sparked a flicker of hope in their hearts. "What if we find something we can't handle?" another villager questioned, his concern evident in his furrowed brow. Amara stepped closer, her gaze firm. "That's why we'll go together. I'll ensure everyone stays safe. With numbers, we find strength." The elder nodded slowly, acknowledging her bravery, while others began to murmur their agreement. As their hesitance shifted toward acceptance, Amara's resolve grew stronger, recognizing how her steadfastness could inspire change in her community. With the decision made, the villagers began gathering supplies for their expedition into the woods, a palpable sense of urgency fueling their movements. Amara quickly assembled a list of essentials: herbs for healing, sturdy ropes for climbing, and food to sustain them during their search. As she organized the items, she felt a surge of resilience. This was her chance to demonstrate her leadership and courage. "Alice, can you check on the water supplies? We'll need enough for everyone," Amara requested, her voice steady as she delegated tasks. "Of course! I'll run to the stream and fill our containers," Alice replied, her enthusiasm evident. Rowan, hefting a few heavy bundles, stepped closer to Amara. "What about signals? If we encounter any danger, we need to know how to alert each other." Amara nodded, appreciating his foresight. "Let's establish hand signals and a whistle system. We'll use them to communicate clearly without drawing attention." The group members began scattering, energized by a newfound sense of purpose as they gathered their supplies, their trust in Amara's guidance solidifying with every step they took. As the last rays of sunlight dipped beneath the horizon, Amara gathered the villagers for a final briefing before they set off into the woods. The atmosphere buzzed with a mix of excitement and apprehension, each face reflecting the gravity of the journey ahead. "Remember our plan," she said, her tone firm but encouraging. "Stay close, watch for signals, and support one another. We're all in this together." The villagers nodded. Their resolve strengthened as they shared lingering glances of determination. Alice stepped forward. We've faced challenges before. Let's not forget the strength of our community. Amara smiled at her friend, feeling a wave of gratitude for the solidarity they had cultivated amidst uncertainty. As they prepared to leave, Amara took one last look at the village, her heart brimming with a sense of purpose. She was ready to uncover the truth behind the disturbances and protect her community at all costs.